This is happening way too much, I'm not gonna lie. It is 5 o'clock in the morning. That's literally how I woke up. That is how I woke up. I'm passed the hell out. And that alarm just starts going off at 5 o'clock in the morning. This is like the 3rd time this month. I don't get it, bro. Like, just don't smoke cigarettes in the building. It's just not that hard. And just like that, it's over. No fire. Just made everybody walk outside for no reason. Great start to our morning, though. You know what that means? It's a sign. It means our day is gonna be absolutely fire. Oh, how is that, man? One person woke everybody up so he could smoke a cigarette. This is why you don't smoke cigarettes.
So he can get his nicotine, dog. Oh, so he can smell the shit, dog.
It's time to get into this video, and it's going to be the start of a really cool series, I hope, because we have been in the market for a new car for a little bit now. I would say, what, like a month?
Yeah, but even in the old place, we just weren't ready yet, I feel like.
For a while now, we've really just been learning all about leasing and all about financing, and we finally came down to 2 options, and we wanted to involve all of you watching the video in this process, just because the reason this is all happening is the hard work in the channel, and just the hard work working for Dub, and just the blessings from God. And so yeah, we want you to put down below in the comments what option we should go with. But first, let me explain everything so you understand what we're looking at, because we've gone through a lot of phone calls, a lot of inquiring. Did I say that right? A lot of inquiring.
Yeah.
And yeah, you know, I think it's important you know the facts, the numbers, so you can properly help us decide which is going to be the better option. First, let's break down leasing versus financing. And I'm gonna give you some tips too that I learned from my dad. He's been in the car industry his whole life. He actually owns a used car dealership now and his own shop. And yeah, he just gave me some tips and tricks in the car industry, just things you need to know that will really help you as far as like whether you want to lease, whether you want to finance, how it all works. So everything I'm about to tell you is pretty much everything he's informed me and taught me of in the last 30 days. So first off, leasing. Leasing is when you borrow the car. You are not paying to own that car. You are paying to own a percentage of that car so you can drive it. After the lease is done, you return the car. You will not own that car. And the way that works is they will check your FICO score, your credit score. They will run it with a credit union. Their finance office will work with them to get you a deal on the car. The bank is going to decide your residual and is going to determine money factor. And what that means is your residual is how much you are paying as far as the ownership of that car, right? So if the car is $10,000 and you're going to pay 30% ownership of that car, because it's a 30% residual, then that means you will still owe $7,000 on that car if you were to decide to buy it after and finance it. I'm hoping I'm getting all this right. So for example, an average calculation of a lease payment can be done like this. It's whatever the price of the car is. So let's just say $20,000. You divide it by 2, it's $10,000. Now you take 10,000s and you multiply it by $30 per thousand, and you have a $300 car payment. Is that right?
I think so.
Yeah. For a $20,000 car. And you can do that equation to get an average lease payment, but again, it's all based off FICO score.
Yeah.
So now we'll jump into financing, which is paying a monthly payment to own the car. That is an entirely different thing. You will go in and you will put down a down payment towards that car. That down payment is going to be towards buying the car and bringing down your monthly payment. You will make those monthly payments for a certain term. On a lease, terms are usually 3 to 4 years. On buying a car, your term is usually 5 to 7 really. And the reason we're breaking this down is because we have 2 options that we're highly considering. One's a lease option and one is a financing option. So I just thought it was important for you guys to know that. A big thing I didn't understand about leases was you don't put a deposit down. You don't put a down payment, I mean.
Because you're not buying.
Because you're not buying the car, you're just borrowing. You can put a down payment to lower the lease payment, but my dad was telling me Sales guys will always tell you like, hey, can you put 3K down and then you got to pay first month's and then registration. But really you should be paying first month's registration and taxes, and that's it, because you're leasing the car. And that's why he says you should always just skip the sales guy and go straight to the internet department or the financing manager, because they'll just get you squared away better and faster. So that's good to know, because I was about to put 3K down on an Infiniti Q60. Q50, sorry. And I was about to go in there, put 3K down, pay all the registrations and first month's fee, and that would have been the dumbest thing I ever did, because it really wouldn't have made a huge difference on my monthly payment.
But if you were buying the car, that would make sense, right?
True.
So then you're
what?
I'm just trying to learn too, but it's a lot. Like,
it is a lot.
He's really been like taking control. So
on the phone daily, just understanding. We just got the Jersey Mike's. Let us order food, and then I can tell you about the first option. So option number 1 is the Toyota GR86, and the reason we are considering this car is because it is a sports car under 30K. If you guys didn't know, it's a popular car to modify as far as cosmetic upgrades and engine upgrades. Fun street car. Like if you're part of car groups and car meetups, like this is a fun car to buy and tinker with.
Imagine racing that car.
That's what I'm saying. You can get it in a 6-speed manual, and if you guys didn't know, I used to drive a manual for 2 years. It was an old Audi A4 2008 5-speed. It was a beautiful car, and for a lot of my manual drivers, you know, like once you start driving manual, you can't really go back. Like you fall in love with it. And I'm really excited to teach Lexi. She's willing to learn. Now with this car, it is the lease option, and Lexi's work offers the employees a really great deal. I guess Toyota works with them with all their ads. So when you lease a Toyota through Lexi's work, being an employee, you get hooked up with an awesome deal. Now without the deal with our FICO score, with it being a $30,000 car, we are expecting like a $500 to $550 payment a month. But we're hoping to get hooked up, so if that changes, we'll let you know. But again, really fun small car. It's perfect for us. It's cheap. It should be an affordable monthly payment. Maybe a 24 to 36 month lease, which would be 2 to 3 years. And we would pay, again, $550 a month for 2 to 3 years to give the car back at the end of its term. Now, depending on the residual and how it all works, to end up buying the car, you would probably finance and pay the remainder of the car balance, right? But I don't think that's a car I see myself buying in the future. I'm gonna show you some clips though of how this car looks. And as you can see, this car is really, really dope. It got voted handling of the year for 2024. Just a smooth looking car. Everyone says it handles turns nicely. A lot of people say that how small it is, the center of gravity, that you could really maneuver this car. And I think that's perfect for LA with traffic and everything. And it being a 6-speed manual just sounds super fun to just drive and, you know, feel the road again. I'm gonna show you another clip here. This is some modifications that people do to give it a sicker look. And as you can see, this car is really, really dope when you start to trick it out. But yeah, you guys let us know. That is our lease option. And like I said, option 2 is a finance option. We're gonna jump into that, but let me finish this Jersey Mike's real quick so I can at least get some food in my system. So what do you think about the Toyota GR86?
I feel like it would be a really, really fun car for us. Like that car would be like a fun car to drive around LA, to drive like far places. But I feel like it's not like a Corolla or a Prius, where those are like more affordable,
like gas
and like
efficiency
yeah,
cars,
like efficient, like get you from A to B with like the cheapest amount. But the GT86 is sick, and I feel like I could
GR86.
Yeah, GR86. I feel like I could see us in it, and like, didn't you say there's mods we can do and stuff?
Yeah, they're like a couple thousand each, and we could really have fun with the car, like really customize it, like get a special shifter knob, get a special steering wheel, and you know, it's like one of those car meet cars. Like you just kind of trick it out. You
get it
lowered
a little bit,
and you could spin and do donuts in it. And you get some cheap tires, and
I feel like too, like I would have to learn how to drive stick, but I've done it before
really hot
in your Audi.
That'd be so sexy.
Really?
If you could drive stick efficiently, which I could teach you, it'd be easy.
Yeah, because I remember trying in your Audi, and it wasn't like super hard. It's just gonna take practice.
And it's a Toyota.
Yeah.
You can always count on a Toyota to start.
Yeah, Toyotas are so reliable.
That car will last us a very, very long time, and the repairs are gonna be very cheap. Something different too on a lease versus financing is sometimes, not all the time, when you finance a car do you have the warranty. If the car is used, you won't have a warranty sometimes if it's out of the manufacturer warranty. So with a lease, you're leasing a new car, you're always guaranteed the manufacturer warranty. So that's something to think about. It's like you're getting a new car when you lease, and those things are covered, like maintenance and package. Like sometimes it comes with a maintenance package for oil changes too. So think about that. You have a warranty with those. Like a lot of your stuff will be fixed for like 4 years, 50,000 or whatever the dealership manufacturer warranty is.
That's true.
But with the Toyota, when it goes out of manufacturer warranty, it's not that expensive to fix Toyotas, you feel me?
Yeah, because they are like the most reliable car.
Yeah. But for sure, you do make a valid point. I agree with everything you just said on that car too. And again, me and Lexi have been going back and forth, but you know, I just wanted to show you like what her thoughts were as far as the GR86. I wanted to mention some more lease tips before we get into option 2. Some tips that really helped me that I got from my pops that I'm hoping will help you. And what that is just going about finding a good lease deal. My dad said the best way to do it is to actually pick the car that you're looking for or the price that you're looking for. One of the two, you have to decide, am I buying or am I leasing by the price, or am I leasing for the car? For example, if it's for the car, you would email 3 different internet departments for that particular car, and you would ask them for a deal, what you're looking for, give them your average FICO. They're gonna get back to you with a deal, right? At that point, you would take your best deal and send it to the other internet department, and you would pretty much pin them against each other and make them fight for your business. He says he does it all the time and it works perfect. He'll email 3 different internet departments, send the best deal to the one who gave him the worst, and then they start fighting for the business, and he eventually gets a very, very good deal from a particular dealership. So just wanted to put that out there. That's something we're thinking about trying if we end up leasing through something else that isn't a hookup through Lexi's work. But let's go ahead and get into option 2. Option 2 is the Tesla Model S P90D. Did I say it right?
Yeah, I think so.
Let me just make sure. We'll pull it up real quick. My dad texted it to me. This is the financing. Yeah, P90D. It's a 2016. It's a financing option. Here is the difference between the two as far as the leasing option. This car is not brand new. This car has 15,000 miles on it, which is not too bad.
No.
And the other car, the Toyota GR86, would be brand new. Like it would literally have maybe 10 miles on it, 20 miles on it from transit, right? Now, with this car, when we make payments for the Tesla, we're paying to own it. We are financing it. When we make payments on the GR86, we are leasing it. We are not paying to own it. So these are the 2 big differences. Now, this is another hookup situation because my dad does own a used car dealership, and he was able to get his hands on the Tesla Model S P90D. Now, he is willing to give me this car for $34,000. Now, just not too long ago, this car used was $65,000. Brand new, I believe, it was around 75 to 80. This is a high-end luxury electric Tesla car. Now, this car has grandfather charging, which means because it's a particular model from a particular year, my charging is always free, which means I would never have to pay for charging. I would save on gas, but I would also just save ultimately because you still pay for charging. But in my situation,
the charging would be completely free.
It would be completely free. Now, this car is completely maintenance by Tesla and has had screens and other things replaced, all by Tesla. So it's all OEM parts. It's actually maintained by my dad's wife. It was her car, and she is currently selling it because she's going to get into another Tesla Model S, the new one, because she makes a lot of money. This is why this is a hookup, because my dad is telling me if I go in there and put $4,000 down, then I would get that car for $550 a month. You feel me? And $550 a month is about the same price that we're thinking about paying to lease the Toyota. Think about that. Now, these cars are 2 different brackets. Difference, again, one is paying to own, one is paying to borrow. And another big difference is if we lease the Toyota GR86, it is 3 years. If we finance this Tesla, it's 6 years. But Again, it's sold by my dad, so we're guaranteed hookups. He'll always take care of us. I can for sure guarantee that this car is reliable.
And you gotta think, like, both monthly payments are around the same, right?
Yeah, I mean,
so
my dad is estimating, because at the end of the day, you have to go through the bank to really get the numbers. But he's been doing it for a long time, and he said it's gonna be, you know, $550 to $600 a month.
So if you think about it, they're around the same price. One's gas, so you're still paying for gas. The other's electric, but the charging is free.
GR86 is gonna be $550 for the lease payment. We're somewhere around 500 bucks, right? Then he was saying it'd be 200 bucks because me and Lexi don't really drive that much. It's like 200 bucks for gas a month, right? Then it's gonna be about 100 for the insurance, because it's not gonna be a luxury premium insurance rate. It's just gonna be a normal insurance rate for a Toyota, right? So in total, I'm already paying 5, 6, 7, 8. 800 in total, gas, insurance, and lease payment.
Shit.
Now, 800 a month for 3 years to give the car back, and then potentially have to finance it to pay the rest off, right? Which 3 years from now, I hope I'm getting a way nicer car, right? So then he goes, but on the Tesla, you have free charging. So you don't pay anything. You don't pay gas, you don't pay charging. It's free fuel. So that's $200 that you spend every month on gas. That's your insurance. Then he said the $550 that you pay every month for a lease plan on the GR86 is the $550 you would pay on the Tesla. The only difference is you would pay for 3 years longer, and you would eventually own a $65,000 Tesla.
Which I don't see us really wanting to get rid of a Tesla.
I don't see us getting rid of it either, especially when we went through the maintenance of the car. There wasn't a lot, and we went through parts and labor for replacements and just like little things like upper control arm replacements, and they weren't too pricey. They weren't pricey like a BMW or a Mercedes. So again, the repairs are pretty low on the Tesla too.
Yeah, because there's no oil change, there's no engine.
Nothing. We got charging stations right next to our crib. We got charging stations at the Galleria Mall. We're surrounded by charging stations, and we never really go more than a 15-mile radius, but the car will have 300-mile radius with a full charge.
Yeah, which is crazy. I was thinking it's like 100 miles for a full charge, but it's 300.
This is the predicament we're in right now. 6 years, 500 a month, 200 on insurance, or 3 years, 500 a month, 200 on gas, 100 on insurance. Own the car, lease the car. You guys let us know down below in the comments. Option 1, option 2. Especially if you guys know something that I don't know, that you can teach me about owning a car. Maybe I can own the car and do something with it if I want to get out of it early. I do not know. I'm learning about this all for the first time.
Yeah.
So put it down below in the comments. Option 1, fun little toy GR86, mod that thing out and have some fun on the track and drifting and spinning and driving manual, and just a small little fun car to have for the next couple years as we level up. Or Tesla Model S, get hooked up. It's used, but it's in brand new condition. And it's through my dad, it's through family, so you can always trust the sale.
Don't you run.